My name is Hiroki Matsuuchi, and you are listening to or watching Bridges, a weekly showcase of a single content creator in Japan and their content. This is episode number 22. And today, we are featuring Kaley and her site, Kaley in Japan. So, Kaley is a self-described girl, 22, traveling to Japan to teach English, learn the culture, learn the language, and make new friends, and start anew. So, Kaley first came to my attention when she sent both myself and Andrew, the guy I do my other internet project with, an email asking to join the 5th installment of a regular meme she does, sharing a bit about what Japan bloggers have to say about Japan. We had a lot of fun contributing a short video to her efforts, and we wanted to return the favor by showcasing her blog on Bridges. So as usual, because this is a website, I will put 10 minutes on the timer and see how much I can see, kind of just wander around the site before time runs out. So 10 minutes, here we go. So I want to start with the blog post that initially got me turned on to Kaley's blog, and that is What Japan Bloggers Have to Say About Japan, post number 5. So I'm going to just read part of this. For starters, I apologize for the delay. Life has been kind of hectic lately, been working a lot, and overall just slightly exhausted. Didn't feel like I've got give a nice, lovely, focused post while I was feeling frazzled. Okay, well, I get what she's going for. She's clearly a little bit frazzled. Now I have a day off and I'm preparing myself for a midnight showing of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and super looking forward to it. I've been reading all the books since I was young, and it's a huge part of who I am. I'll probably be crying my eyes out later, but that's not the main topic. This is the 5th installment of my lovely Japan Bloggers series. I'm so thrilled that it has lasted this long, and it looks like I will have enough to make another post or two. So I really do want to give a huge thank you to all of the Japan bloggers who have submitted to me. I know I'm not there yet in more than one way, but it really means a lot to me. Yay, squishy feelings. I don't know what there means, but I don't know, maybe she is there. I guess that's internet stardom and fame among the Japan-based content creators. So, of course, you'll see the video submission that we did along with the blog post. But she also collected a blog post from a number of other different content creators. Thomas from the Six Mats blog was a blogger I've actually never heard of before, but I really like this beautiful picture. Jonathan from Life UTV, again, he's kind of a good friend of the show. David from @Sleepy Taco, or from Sleepy Taco. Again, another guy I've never heard of, but I read the post and it was actually quite interesting. Gwyn at Gwynny's Adventures in Japan, and anything else? Is it the last one? Yeah, so I mean, it's a really cool meme where she collects, or she poses questions to these different Japan-based bloggers and gets them to contribute photos and responses. And in our case, because we're video guys, videos. It's a really cool meme that I hope she tries to continue. Keep going as long as she possibly can. So why don't we jump back to her homepage, and let's see what else we can see. Oh, did I break her site? Uh-oh. Maybe there's something a little bit funky about my screen capture software. So why don't we jump to her most recent post. This is Places I Want to Visit, number 3. I think this one is also part of a series of posts. So probably one of the more common images of Japan are those of the temples and shrines that litter the landscape with their distinct beauty and ancient feel. Through Japanese religious traditions, nearly anything can become a place where there is a shrine and maybe even a temple. One of the things I really hope to accomplish in Japan is visiting as many shrines and temples as I possibly can while accumulating a massive stock of omamori, which are Japanese amulets dedicated to a certain spiritual being. My Japanese culture teacher brought into class a handful of some that he had collected, and also dropped a kami on the ground, much to our amusement. I'm going to have to make up for that one later tonight, apparently, is what he said. In a country with so many shrines and temples, where do you even start? Well, with Google. Or at least that's what I did. Also, in some of my classes, there were mentions of important temples. Every city in Japan has their own temples and shrines and are worth visiting, so it really shouldn't be too hard. And she actually goes on to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, of course, being a resident of Tokushima, living on the small island of Shikoku. She talks about the Shikoku 88 Temple pilgrimage. Yeah, so Kaley, if you are in the Shikoku area and you are doing the pilgrimage, be sure to look me up. I can show you around at least some of the temples in Shikoku. Let's see what else is on the list. Itsukushima Shrine, Hasedera. Those are all beautiful, very famous temples. All right, so why don't we jump back to the main page, if my browser will let me. Doesn't seem like it's letting me. I don't think it has anything to do with her site. I think it might have something to do with my screen capture software. And why don't I jump to one of her links, all about series. Okay, so very similar to the What Japan Bloggers Have to Say About Japan series, it seems as though she's running a few different series. Places I want to visit, learning Japanese. So why don't we check out the first link on hiragana and katakana. I wonder if this is a post by her or guest post. So you want to learn Japanese, hiragana and katakana. I want to start off by saying the all caps katakana is one of the coolest looking words to see, coolest looking words out there. Some frat boy should get it tattooed on himself. Sorry if you're a frat boy. Maybe I'll name a cat katakana in the future. It does kind of sound like a weapon or a sword of some sort. That aside, I've been planning this for a while, a short little blog series about teaching yourself Japanese. I took Japanese in college, 4 semesters, and I understand it pretty decently. I can read it well enough, write it okay. I can barely understand it in conversation, nor do I pronounce things too skillfully. Most of the times I end up sounding like a robot, unless it's a phrase I say too much. Konnichiwa, watashi wa Kaley desu. Tabemono suki desu. Interesting, is my standard. That means, hi, I'm Kaley, I like food, for those unaware. Yeah, so she goes on to explain a little bit about hiragana and katakana in this post. Yeah, certainly very interesting. And for those of you who might not know much about the Japanese language or are looking to study, this would be a pretty good place to start. All right, let's check out what other things she has. We're about 6 minutes deep. So up on the up on the right, we have popular posts. And oh, look at that. Looks like the post that the Bad Communication Boys are in is the second most popular. Let's check out the first most popular post, which is 7 Reasons Why Genki is a Messed Up Book. And I remember seeing this book. I remember using this book for maybe a semester or 2 of college in Japanese. To preface this, I apologize if I randomly start to make little to no sense at all. I'm trying to stop a cold before it stops, and am on some weird off-brand NyQuil my mother picked up called Comtrex. All right, so let's jump to the list. Number 1, the bizarre racial stereotyping. One of the first practice pages you'll see is this lovely chart. It is asking you to say what each person is. You have Mary, the lovely exchange student from America, looking as casual as ever with her blonde hair. Then Takeshi, her future boyfriend in Japan. I do remember this story. Kim from Korea, who looks far more Asian than Takeshi. Robert from England, looking dapper in English with a side part and again blonde hair. And the odd square-headed Yamashita-sensei, the teacher. Then on the next page, you get to see her host family, who is rarely mentioned in the middle of the book. I forgot they existed for a couple of classes until randomly Mary was preparing to leave Japan and talking to the host sister. The gray-haired father, the dopey-looking mother, the wise older brother, and the little psychotic-looking younger sister. Those eyes. And there's some great photos, as you can see, to accompany this great description. Number 2, parts of the body. I'd like to know who decided this is a good idea. Why a baby? Why a sumo? And this one is particularly funny for me because I was thinking the exact same thing when I flipped open to this page so many years ago when I was in university. Could you play to more Japanese stereotypes with us? They have never once been displayed in the book before, nor after this instance. I showed this to a Japanese friend of mine, and she literally burst out laughing and grabbed her camera to take pictures of the page to send to her friends. I don't blame her. I turned to this page and was really quite taken aback. Never in my dreams did I imagine I'd own a textbook with an anime picture of a sumo's butt. Yeah, it is quite interesting. And she goes on to point out all of these really bizarre, kind of funny and depressing, in some cases disturbing things about the Genki textbook series. But again, if you guys want to check it out, I would highly recommend visiting her blog. So why don't we go back and take a look at, how about the About page, to find a little bit more about Kaley the person. Again, the woman behind the blog. If my web browser will let me. And it doesn't seem to be letting me. That's very strange. Anyway, Why don't we keep scrolling down and see what else we can find? All right, let's go back home. Oh, come on. About, you can do it? No, it's not working. All right, so let's go to some of our older posts. Let's see. Labels. Her most popular label, of course, is Japan Information 31-Day Challenge. What is this? All right, so the most recent post under the 31-Day Challenge tag is Why We Need to Learn About Asia. It's to no one's surprise that I'm passionate about Japan, and that passion extends to all of Asia. During my time in the Orange County Public School System in Orlando, Florida, we weren't really given a lot of opportunities to study Asia. There were world history classes which went all over aspects of the world, but the in-depth history was never there. I remember friends taking classes on Europe, such as AP European History, and the languages offered in school were very Western-focused, Spanish, German, French. For me, personally, my love for Asia was never really allowed to grow. So when I did have a chance to gain that exposure to the eastern side of the world in my higher education, it changed me. And we just blew past the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to have to leave this for you guys to check out all by yourself. And I would highly recommend that you do visit her blog. The address is Kaley in Japan. And of course, it will be heavily linked in both this video as well as on the YouTube page and the corresponding blog. So that's it. Thank you all for listening or watching episode 22 of Bridges. Please get in touch with us over at bridges@wanwan.fm with any comments, questions, or suggestions for future content creators to be featured on the show. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'll try to fix that for next week's episode. But once again, my name is Hiroki Matsuuchi, and this is Bridges, and thank you for watching. See you next week, guys.